Welcome back to it. Another installment right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show of the Culinary Hotline Bling.
Ting, ting, ting!
Oh yes, you know what we do during this time? We get joined by one of our favorite chefs, Chef Clem, who is here to answer any of your questions, any of your kitchen conundrums. You can give us a call on 021 110 552. In fact, last week, a special lady called in, and today she's joining us in the kitchen. Her name is Trish Cicatello. Welcome, Trishy. Trish,
everybody.
How's it going?
Thank you. Thank you.
And
It's lovely to be here.
The only way
Very nervous.
You can't be. The official welcome is when you've got this on.
Thank you.
Yes.
I accept.
And now you are a part of
I'm
it
one of the
entirely.
team.
Yes,
this is
you
really exciting.
absolutely are.
Trish, you called us last week, and here you are today. What was your question for Chef?
Last week, it was the question about salmon. Salmon, again, it's going to be about salmon, but it was about salmon pate, and Chef Clem sorted that out.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic recipe. But this week, what I found was the different cuts of the salmon, and I'm by no means a cook or a chef.
Come on, you're sounding like one.
No, I found that the different cuts obviously have different fat content. So, for instance, when you're making fish cakes out of using the tinned cuts, the cut is very dry, but when you're using the belly of the salmon, it's a lot oilier.
You just
Wow.
answered it so
It's
well.
so technical,
That's
but
exactly
I love it.
what it is. So I love that question because yes, salmon's quite a big fish, especially when you're getting it when it's more mature, and you'll notice a difference in the meat texture. So close up to the top where the top fins are, I'm pretty sure there's a proper name for. It's not a dorsal
there
fin.
probably is.
Is it a dorsal fin?
There probably
Probably.
is.
Oh, okay,
Our smartest
cameraman,
cameraman,
giving me a
Pete,
nod.
just nodded, yeah.
You'll find that'll be meatier, leaner meat. And as you move down to the belly, you'll find there's a lot of marbling and there's a lot of fat that's in there.
I can relate.
Oh my goodness. So
Trish, stop it.
what I suggest is using the meat that's a little leaner and meatier. Because fish cakes, in a sense, especially salmon fish cakes, what I love about them is you can just add so much to it
Absolutely.
that you'll take like a 400-gram piece of salmon and you'll be able to
go.
like feed like 6 if you're
Absolutely.
really smart about it.
Something tells me you are very much into your salmon.
I am, but for very different reasons. I used to work in the fish industry with,
You did?
but with pet food, believe it or not. I did give to a couple of people.
Nice!
Yeah, so we used the salmon skins
Yeah.
to make dog treats
Yeah.
because it's full of the omega-3s and 6s, and that's where I learned about salmon and fish.
Yeah.
Love
and
it.
also restaurants, I mean, salmon skin is so on trend.
Absolutely.
And how
They serve it as part of a dish.
As you're
on its
almost bullshit. It comes with a little salmon skin with a little bit of a foam.
Wow.
Very zhuzh.
Trish,
Very
you are,
zhuzh.
Very zhuzh
you are
indeed.
upper echelon. Okay, cool.
Let's talk about
go.
this. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some salmon fish cakes. What like you said now, tin fish does work really well with this because it's a little drier, which means it'll hold its shape better. So I'm starting off with some leftover mashed potatoes, and this is just my hack to make a little bit of salmon stretch and go a little further. So, okay, I've got some salmon, and again, like I said, this is essentially, this was one big fillet, and we're going to make it stretch as far as possible. So the salmon goes with the mash, and you want everything to be cold at this stage. Everything must be cold. Okay. Again, that is why I do like working with the tinned version of it. Okay. So then, a lot of flavor. Salmon and dill, we know, go really well together. Spring onions. You can chop this up really fine if you want, but if you look at everything going on in the bowl, the salmon's quite soft, so is the potato. Adding a bit of crunch to it by like keeping your spring onions a little bit chunkier
Thicker,
makes
yeah.
a difference, Parsley, and I'm not going to chop it up too fine because I want to kind of see those parsley leaves in there.
And so how do you ensure that you've got the right sort of mixture of all of your herbs that doesn't overpower completely and take away from...
Very good.
That is a very good question because I need to buff it because I need to find a knife. And while I'm talking to you, a knife's going to magically appear on the side. But don't look what's going on over there. It's going to happen. Okay, so your question was about herbs. So the thing about herbs is you get the more delicate herbs like your parsley, for instance, which is more forgiving if you do add a little too much. unlike something like a rosemary, which is extremely floral, once you add too much rosemary, it's going to taste like you're eating soap. It's going to, you know? So it's all about taste. And Tumi was here earlier, and she was saying, the thing about being a chef is you taste as you go. Not only a chef, like as a cook, you taste as you go. And if you have a preference for more...
You missed something. The knife did magically appear.
You guys don't understand. It's like a voice-controlled kitchen. You see, while I was talking, boom, the knife appeared. So that's one thing about herbs. So taste as you go. Keep in mind, the more woodier herbs, rosemary, thyme, sage, they are more intense in flavor. So go a little sparingly on that. Seeing as you like salmon, so I want to ask this very quick question while I'm busy bringing it all together. Oh, by the way, let me just give you a little run through. So this is our mixture. I'm going to mash it all together, shape it. We're going to go flour, egg, breadcrumb. Okay? I'm going to keep on talking now. So if you like making salmon at home, and I know Tipiso's got a question there.
I've got a question.
Okay, ask your question first.
The question's got to do with your lemon. Why are you getting that in there during this stage of the process as opposed to at the end of it all? Are you neutralizing what you've got in there just yet, or what's the story?
So we're leveling a little bit of the acidity that's in the mixture right now. I like that you've picked up already. You want to serve it with a punchy acid at the end as well. So we'll serve it with lemon at the end as well. It's almost like seasoning. You don't just season once the dish has been seasoned, put on the plate. You season as you go.
As you go.
And lemon is just another seasoning.
I love that.
So when you're cooking salmon at home and you get a salmon fillet, we're so accustomed to, when you're cooking seafood, to go really high heat and quickly.
Yes.
But salmon's a little different because it's got all those layers of fat. If you hit it really high with a lot of heat, it's going to start contracting, and it squeezes the fat out. Have you ever seen when you cook salmon, you get like that white, almost like there's like foaminess on the outside?
Absolutely.
Because your temperature in the oven or in the pan was too hot. So it caused the meat to contract, and that's what you're seeing coming out of it. So a little lower temperature is what you actually want to do when you're cooking salmon.
So long and slow.
Little lower and slower, yeah.
Lower and slower.
So Trish, do you like reserve your sort of salmon for like very specific occasions where you want to indulge, or is this like, no, any day?
No, any day is a salmon day.
I love you.
Any day is a salmon day. And I'm a bulk buyer, which is where the question actually came from. So that's why I do all of that.
And who do you cook for usually?
You know what? I'm very blessed. As the surname
Cicatello.
I have an Italian husband, and he is a chef in the kitchen. So I'm actually super blessed. I get cooked for every single night.
No, you really are. But it's beautiful to know that you are able to switch it up when he thinks you're waiting for him to come cook, and you just like hoy some salmon.
No. The kitchen is a no-go zone for this woman in that house.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, no. There will be bloodshed.
Whoa, okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Bruno Cicatello.
Well, listen, we have made this recipe available for you on our site, expressoshow.com, with all the steps required to bring the Cicatello fish cakes to life. And I hope that Bruno is watching and hopefully trusts you enough to get you in the kitchen. Clem?
Let's hope so.
Give us a
We're
call
not done. We're still coming back.
with another installment of
Culinary hotline bling.
Ting, ting, ting.
We're keeping it a little shh.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're jamming into another installment of the Culinary Hotline Bling.
Ting, ting, ting.
It's all about gearing you up and inspiring you as you step into the kitchen. We've got our resident head chef, it's Chef Clem, who's here to answer any of your kitchen conundrums. And this morning, we've also got a special guest. It's Trish Cicatello, who joins us this morning. Pavlova is your favorite,
Pavlova
Trish?
is my thing. I can't make
What is your
it,
question
but
around
it's
it?
my thing.
So there's two types, right?
Yeah.
There's the one that's dry, that you want that all dry right the way through. Then you get the one that's slightly chewy in the center. So, okay, so the trick with the one that's slightly chewy in the center is to use a little bit of corn flour, okay? And it makes all the difference. The cooking and drying out technique also slightly different. We're gonna do the dry one now, but we're gonna make sure that you'll get all the recipes to make sure you can make everything.
Is it quicker to make the more drier one than the sort of softer one?
It's not.
Which one is quicker? Because I'm looking for the most
Convenient, of course.
The most convenient one is this one, which I say this is the all dry one, because it's like, you actually want to dry it out. That's the thing.
Perfect.
So it starts off with egg whites. And I love this ratio because it doesn't have to be your freshest. It actually works better with the egg that's a little bit older. It's like a week old. So what you want to do is take it out the fridge. You want to have all your ingredients as close to room temperature as possible. Now, I say that, but the all ingredients are actually going to be sugar and egg whites. So here we go. So we started already. I'm going to give you the electric hand mixer. If you don't have an electric hand mixer, it's fine. You can do it at home. It's just going to
Take a while.
take a while.
And build your arms.
And you know what you want to do for the bros out there? Change arms. Just you don't want to be having one strong arm.
One bicep.
One bicep? No, so change arms. So I'm going to hand over to you, Trish. And you're going to see we've just kind of started forming these softer peaks. They just kind of start falling as you lift it up. So you're going to do that. And Tabiso's going to gradually...
Am I also getting involved?
Here you go.
Oh,
You're
fair.
going to gradually add the sugar.
Teamwork, darling.
Okay. So now, I mean, Trish, you're not allowed in your kitchen. Where are you planning to put all of these skills, you know, to
No,
use?
darling, the thing is, there's always a second stomach for pudding, so I'm allowed to make puddings.
Okay.
As you can tell by my slender physique, I make a lot of pudding.
Well, we all love pudding.
Love, love, love.
Exactly.
So the thing about... I'm going to have to shout a little bit, but the thing... No, it's fine. The thing about Pavlova is that besides just layering it and adding your favorite ingredient toppings to it, you can also break it up and make like a take on an eat and miss, which is really good because you don't need a lot of meringue, and again, it's a good way to like
Make it look big.
make it go
look big,
further.
yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look at that. So what you want to do is, I'm going to show what's happening now. It's starting to become a little shinier, okay? When you're done, it's going to be extremely, extremely glossy, okay?
Which is a good look.
It's a good look. But there's also another way to make sure that you've added enough into your egg whites and enough sugar, and that's to tip the bowl
Yeah,
over
right.
Yes.
your head.
You're welcome.
Okay, look, the thing is,
right.
the thing is, I don't need to do the experiment now because I can tell we're not there. So first of all, what you're gonna do, check the color, okay? Second of all, take your finger, you're gonna do this with me.
Okay.
And just kind of rub the meringue between your finger. Can you feel that we don't have any more grit of the sugar?
So how does it feel? Is it
you
more
know
like-
what?
It's smooth.
I can't explain it. You're gonna have to feel it. We've all sanitized, washed our hands, we're all good.
Do this.
Okay?
Okay, so it's not sticky. It's not
So
supposed to be
what
sticky.
we're looking for is we don't want to feel any more of the sugar granules. That's what we're
Okay.
looking for. So we're going to keep on whipping, and you're going to see it will become extremely glossy. You'll see the difference. It'll also be extremely thick, like I said. You'll be able to hold it over your head. You don't have to do that, but that's fun. Just take your spatula and kind of just hold it and just see what texture you're working with. So we've got our pavlova, goes into the oven, right?
that's that.
It also goes in at a nice and low temperature. And depending on the crunchy versus the slightly chewy, you can actually let your pavlova cool in the oven, all right? If your pavlova cracks, don't cry. Because we make cream, and you just use that cream or whatever your filling is going to be to fill the cracks, okay? So
You then make an eat and mess in that way.
I'm telling you, eat and mess for me is I prefer having pavlova broken up into eat and mess because it's a lot of sugar in one big base. When you cut through it, you have to get through all the layers, but it's still like a chunk of sugar. In the eat and mess, it's all incorporated with everything else,
one.
and there's
Very
balance.
nice.
So,
Nice.
cream. And you can totally play around with this. Can I use your spatula there? Of
course.
You can use, if you want a more tangy flavor, add something like a creme fraiche to the cream as well, and then vanilla. So you got a slightly sharper flavor, and that helps cut through all that sugar and
I've
that
got some
sweetness.
vanilla here.
Vanilla
that's
can go
good.
into the cream. And you can,
okay.
Yeah.
And then, well, I suppose you don't need the sugar, any more sugar. Into
No. Oh, okay. Just make sure you add all your sugar to your pavlova when you make it.
Okay.
You had
All
one job.
right. Be generous with the sweet factor.
Okay, no, I like that. So, okay, the fillings that you can add to your pavlova, that's completely like, if you just want chocolate, add chocolate. You want fruit, add fruit. You can go crazy with it, which I absolutely love.
It's nice.
You don't waste your egg yolks because you can make a beautiful custard, and that can be your first layer that goes into your pavlova. So, no wastage, no wastage. And again, like I said, it's a really great way to use your eggs that are not the freshest.
And reuse them. What's the lifespan of a good pavlova after you've made it?
I love that you asked that question. If you make a pavlova and you dry it out properly, you take all the moisture out. Moisture is an enemy when it comes to preserving things or keeping things fresh. You take all that moisture out, you put that in a bag, you can pop that into a cupboard without getting cracked, nice and safe space. It can be there for like months.
Yes.
I mean, probably, like, it would probably be years, but I think the texture's going to start changing because there's moisture in the air, it's not getting chewy.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you keep it locked tight with no air getting in there, it'll keep for like 6 months, maybe even longer. That's
good.
Which I think is great. So when you do make pavlovas, just make a batch and just stack them somewhere safely and you're good to go.
And think about December.
December.
Make it now for the festive season.
But as we live with Trish, every day is a good reason to celebrate and have pudding.
And she will
that's
finish the
truth.
entire Pavlova.
That
I will.
Without sharing with
That's-
Bruno Cicatello.
No, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I make one for myself and one for the rest of the family.
Love
There we
it.
go. You should do that. Just do that. And then just decorate however you want. You can do like some fruit purees. You can do fresh fruit. Whatever's in season. That's why I absolutely love pavlovas. And if you wanted to get a little more advanced, check out the Taste website. We can actually see how we made brown sugar meringue pavlovas. And then we actually did chocolate ones and nut-based ones. So
There's
once
a
you
lot of
master this guy,
ways.
you can just move on to the rest of them and then you'll be a winner.
Trish, I need to see you in action. If you could just help with the decorating there.
Sure thing.
Let's
If
see.
I can have a
So,
knife.
there you go.
Thank you, kind sir.
And you can also play around texture. Don't just take the tops off.
Okay.
Chop them up, slice them up, do whatever you want.
Okay.
And if you want it to be better,
Rich.
do extra layers. So do your fruit puree under your cream.
And I
then you
see
get-
there we've got the strawberries. What else is on our finished product? What else
So-
have we layered on there?
What we did was took a little bit of a beautiful strawberry jam, and it's a chunky type. Just extra flavor in there, more flavor of strawberries, and that's in there.
And it looks pretty too.
Do you want to try it?
I will try it. I mean, I thought that Trish might want to take it
Yes.
home.
No.
But
You and try it. So what
you.
what we
With my weight.
No, you can absolutely can. It's a special occasion.
No,
Have we got a fork,
So
no?
what you're going to do, you can actually grab a piece of it. So what we did was, this one, we kind of went the route of eaten mess crossed with a normal pavlova, where we kind of smashed it as you put it down on the plate, and then layered everything. Please try
I
it
love
out.
the crunch. The
The
crunch
crunch.
is the magic of it all,
Everything.
right? Oh my word. You see, this is the sort of thing that when you really think of indulgence,
TV.
you've got to be tapping into this. This is really nice. Good question. I'm glad you've taught me this as well. Clem, this is really fantastic. Thank you very much for this.
No, thank you. And Trish, it was so much fun
Trish,
having in the kitchen.
You are fantastic. Listen,
Comes
Expresso
with
Show.
my mouth full. That's exactly what I've always wanted. Thank you.
I love that. ExpressoShow.com for the recipe. But of course, for all of the taste inspiration, go on to taste.co.za to check out all the many other ways that you can bring your pavlova to life.
Cheers.